Pam, I'm going to try to log in on my computer because it's so much easier to hear.
Okay, sounds good. Well, we'll see you soon, Scott. Welcome, everybody. Call the meeting to order of the DEI Committee in Westford, May 22nd at 7:05. This meeting is being recorded. Start as we usually do with the land acknowledgement. I want to ask for a volunteer to read it. I've read it a few times, but I think it's probably good to spread the wealth. So I have a copy of it right here, and I can pass it down and wherever it stops.
It is right with me as well on the agenda, it's right here. Thank you.
Right?
Yep.
Would you mind?
Yeah, no, not at all. My pleasure. So starting with the land acknowledgement, we want to acknowledge that we gather in Westford on the traditional lands of the Nipmuc peoples past and present, and honor with gratitude the land itself and the people that stewarded it throughout the generations.
Good, thank you. Thank you.
Can I ask a question about that?
Sure.
I might have missed where this became like when I went over the notes that were from the meeting the other day. And I thought that this statement was for Indigenous Peoples Day, that this isn't something that the DEI is gonna say every time. It doesn't really seem appropriate to me. It's not part of like a Westford committee, a DEI. It sounds honestly, it sounds cult-like if it's going to be something that's presented each time. It sounds more like it sounds cult-like. If we're a committee that's part of Westford government in the United States, I think that something that really honors this country and the founding, this thing feels more spiritual to me, that it just doesn't fit in a government meeting. An acknowledgement to Indigenous people, if you're celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day, it would be appropriate, but to use this for every meeting, I don't think it's appropriate.
Thanks for your perspective. Just as a point of fact, and Wendy's got a comment, I think. 2 years ago, we talked this over and SEMA moved and it was accepted and seconded that we do this at every meeting. I forget the exact number, but it was probably 2 or 3. But just for that point of fact, move on. I think Wendy.
Yep. It's an important part of all DEI committees across the United States to do a land acknowledgement in terms of inclusivity of the native populations that were decimated by the settling of the Europeans. And we are keep cognizant of what the other DEI committees are doing. So we are keeping in step with current practices of DEI. And that is a common thread throughout to respect the land on which we reside.
Well, even the Indians, they thank the spirits for the land. And even in your comment, you say that the land cannot be privately owned, and how can it be that tribal land, if this is the belief that you are saying, oh, thank you for this, that the Indians themselves thanks the spirits. So it really, and maybe the other DEIs, whoever's doing that, whoever came up with it, no one ever questioned it and they just went along with it. But I just don't feel it's appropriate. And just because some other group, that does it, and, who designates like what DEI picks as their thing? I just don't think, I don't think it's appropriate.
Well, I appreciate your point, but we as a group designated it, and we as a group decided that we would do it. So that's who. I've been to several meetings of nonprofits and government organizations where this is done. So I had the experience of Latin. Just again, Cynthia, I do appreciate your point of view. But to answer that question again, the committee voted to do this. All right, thank you. I'll
Okay,
move on.
I still don't agree, but I'm outnumbered.
Well, no, you're always welcome to
And
express your,
I'm past that, and I don't know, you know, there's yeah, maybe I'll talk about it again some other time.
you're always welcome to express your point of view.
It sounds very cultish and it's more on spirit, and I feel that it's against it's pushing away from who we are as a country and as a community. And it doesn't have a place in a government committee, so.
It's a hand up.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Scott and Seema. Let's go with Scott.
I disagree, and I think that it's something that we should be saying, and I don't think we should be culturally assimilating or appropriating the Indian spiritual sayings. I don't think that would be right. I think we have to do what we can in our way. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. And Seema.
Yeah, I just wanted to, sort of follow up on the previous conversation we had about this, about reaching out and seeing if the wording of this could be discussed with any local indigenous groups. This is something we've talked about a couple of times. I just wanted to follow up on that and find out if any progress was made toward that. And, just for the record, I'm obviously completely on board with us doing it. I do not believe that it sounds cultish in any way, shape, or form.
If I could jump in, Seema, we, for the committee that is the working group, sorry, that is going to be working on the mission statement for the DEI, our own DEI committee. That is one of the action items I have on the list, is to have us all look, or people on that working group, to look at the land acknowledgement and take that step that you mentioned of making sure that it's the correct verbiage that we should be using.
And just as
Thank
another
you.
note, we drew on a few different acknowledgements that it's always wise to update and refresh.
I'm sorry, Joe, I don't know if it's your mic, but I'm having a lot of difficulty hearing you. I was fine when Wendy was talking.
Might be my end. I'll speak up.
I think it's your mic. It might be the mic in front of you.
Okay.
Because Wendy was very clear. I'm sorry. I'm having difficulty.
Joe's very low
The
volume.
timbre of my voice, I don't know what it is, but.
No, it's not volume. It's getting garbled. That's why I'm not sure if it's like some technical issue going on there.
It echoes. It
It
echoes. I agree, Seema. That I've found that before when we're online.
Maybe the mic on your laptop is on, and also the mic that you have in front of you.
Yeah, I'm muted by computer, so I'll do my best to project. Hopefully that'll help.
Oh, this is much better. Thank you.
Okay, very good, thank you. Well, why don't we move on to open forum? Thank you all for your comments. I have an item for open forum, but I wanted to open it up for anybody else. If that's something. Okay. The item that I was thinking about for open forum, I was I actually forgot to put it on the agenda, but it's probably better for open forum because this is sort of an initial idea. We've been together now as a committee for 3 years. We are aware of other DEI committees or town departments across state, and then some who are in our neighboring communities. And I thought it would be good if we were to reach out to them in a more intentional way. Wendy's already made a connection with Acton, and we'll be working with them on Friday, but I know that Chelmsford actually has a DEI committee, Acton has a department, and I know that some of the other towns do as well. And I felt this impulse for us to learn from each other. And so I just wanted to float that idea. Donna, you're a former select board member, and you may have reached out to other select board members in your time. You may have found that helpful and useful, but I was thinking that that's something that we could do. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in terms of thinking, well, we'll form a league of DEI committees, something like that. I just want to connect, and in the spirit of sharing information and learning, sort of a community of practice. Scott, please.
There is a mass DEI group, and I get their emails. I was just looking for it. I can't find it.
Oh, thank you.
All the DEI committees and directors, and it's like a mass coalition of DEI, and they send out a newsletter, and people post stuff, and if it's something you're interested in, I'll forward it next time I get it.
That would be great. Please do. Please do.
It's very interesting to see what other communities are doing.
That'd be great. And we'll probably circulate it to the whole group. That's a great, thank you. Anybody else?
I just want to bring it to your attention, not a big topic, but then you know how the tax override was basically failed at the voting. And there are a lot of groups that are trying to be organized because they're concerned about the Westford school system, the education of their kids and whatnot. So I don't know what will happen in the future, but just wanted to tell you what's happening in the community, because a lot of community members are really concerned about the quality of education moving forward. What are the choices that their kids will get going into the Westford school system, and how will that impact their career choices?
Thank you.
I know, Catherine is in Ireland today, so that, right now, so that's why she couldn't be here, but she might be able to help us with pulling a thread together about understanding what might be happening school committee wise for that.
Yeah.
What the impact would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was an email sent out by Dr. Chu, the principals of WA, on the impact of kids, activities,
Okay.
the impact on the staff. So there was a big email sent out last week.
Oh, okay.
And when I look at that, I do see there are some RIP numbers, there are programs that are being reduced,
Hmm.
classes sizes being increased. So there are definitely some impacts for sure. And it's only the one that I looked at was just the Westford Academy, and I'm not sure about how wider the impacts were on the schooling system, on special needs kids, teachers, from middle school, elementary school. But I think that these community members will reach out to Valerie sometime soon and get some more guidance on what could be done, how the funds could be allocated to the school system, what can we do to help?
Mhm.
This is something that has happened periodically. And it does take a long time in meeting with the parents and with the school committee, meeting with everybody, and answering questions because. And it's becomes a very difficult time to go back and undo what you put together.
I don't know who was talking just then, but that was also kind of muffled, so I don't know. Are you in the room together? It was.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Cynthia, that was Madonna. Madonna was saying that once the system is put in place, then it takes a lot of time to undo what has already been put in place, and that's exactly what she said.
Okay. Well, I haven't listened to the school committee meetings, but I know that they've had a number of them where they talked about if the override didn't go through and how they were gonna handle things, so maybe we should just wait until Catherine comes back and she can address what's going on.
Oh, there were emails sent out by the school already on how they're gonna handle the override situation, so that, it doesn't really look very
Yeah.
pretty, Cynthia, looking at those emails, right? From the schooling system.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's been voted on.
You know,
We'll learn about the impact.
yeah. Go on.
Unless there's anything else for our open forum, we can move on to updates. We've got a couple of things coming up. We're really excited about my event on the 15th with Acton and then Juneteenth, among other things. And I wanted to first thank Wendy for all of her work and initiative when it comes to both of those. Ask you to summarize where we are. So,
Sure. Thank you, Joe. Regarding Acton Westford Pride, that is moving forward and we are I'm sending out advertising and making folks aware of the event and trying to get people to sign up ahead of time, so we kind of have an idea of how many people to expect, so. And also inviting town committees to have a table. Also vendors, soliciting vendors to have tables, so those are ongoing efforts and. I don't have any big updates as of now, but.
and there's a program for this little entertainment there.
Yeah, there's gonna be music and family event activities and.
Is there a flyer being developed?
Yes, there's a flyer.
Do you need any support from anybody, DEI members? Do you need volunteers at the table? Like, what do you need?
Probably, well, Joe had offered that there would, DEI would wanna have a table at the event.
Okay,
So that would need to be tabled and whatever we need for that, if we need flyers or things that might come later, but just things to think about and what we want as a committee to promote for an event like that.
we need candies.
Candies,
Yeah, you know.
that's always
We need
good.
something, like we need
Yeah.
pencils or pens or erasers or candies, so
Yeah.
that we can have people over to the table.
That's
Otherwise,
right.
nobody shows up.
That's right, that's right.
That's it.
In terms of outreach, how are you conducting that through Facebook?
So right now, Facebook and, I will be using WestfordCAT and Rodenbush. Acton is taking care of some of the more major advertising venues that are available.
So if you checked in with Kristen, we could certainly post a link part of the website. But Imagine Kristen would be interested in, and sometimes she has above the fold, if you will.
Oh, I see.
the
Yep,
headline.
yep,
That's how.
Yeah, I mean, get somebody, yeah, to contact Kristen
yeah.
and Mike Wells.
Wendy, would you take the action to connect with Kristen and have her post, or do you need any help?
No, I will do that.
And
And
yeah.
for Juneteenth, our working group is going to be meeting next Wednesday, May 29th at 7, if that works for everybody. I've emailed everybody on that working group list to try to see, I might have to re-prompt people. So that would mean I need to get an agenda together by Friday, huh?
What was the day?
Wednesday, May 29th at 7.
Where?
Last time we did it at the police training station, or I think we were in there because we maybe couldn't get the
Yeah,
other
yes.
facility. So, Joe, do you have the contacts to find a location for us to meet for that?
Well, if you want to do it at the police training session, I do know a person.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I think I just lost the thought process. What meeting are we talking about, Wendy, right now?
So this is the working group for the Juneteenth.
For the working group for the June meeting.
Yeah.
Who all are part of the working group, do you know?
I am, Madonna is.
Yeah.
Joe is.
Joe, me, and
Dawn.
Dawn, and Catherine.
We have plenty of people.
Yeah, we actually make forum when we meet, so we have to take notes.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
That sounds great. And so you'll working on the agenda or the program for both
So,
aspects of the day.
Dawn was gonna, work on refreshments, thinking about refreshments and a run of show she was gonna do, and I have already invited a lot of people, asking them to RSVP. Just want that working group to really look at that list again, make sure we haven't missed anybody. That's my big worry, that, I don't want to miss on inviting someone that we should be inviting to the town.
What is the activity? I'm still not
It's a
getting it.
flag raising. And there's also an educational program. That's good to see.
Westford Museum, yeah.
So I knew about that, and that is actually happening on May 20. So, but that is happening on the June.
No.
Okay.
This is the working group, this is the working group,
Oh, I
to get, for all the planning, yeah.
So there are two aspects of June, is the flag raising and the education.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's also a speaking program related to the flag.
Right, right.
Introduction, all of that.
Who is the speaker?
That's what we have to decide as a committee, yeah.
I think I'm just jumping the gun.
Then we need historian.
Yes, historian Leslie Howard will be talking about the history of slavery in Westford. She's done a lot of research on that very topic, so it'll be very interesting to hear.
Sounds good. Now, and this is happening before there have been flag raising. Before. It's day with one other sort of celebrations on the common.
Yeah.
And those are announced. This is the same way that we challenge Kristen. That's the kind of the agenda.
Mhm.
Along with all of the.
I'm losing
If
your
people in
volume.
Westford knew
Okay.
of it too.
Yeah, yeah.
Sort of the standard advertising.
Mhm,
too.
mhm, mhm.
I'm gonna jump back one
Sure.
item. Sorry, I lost my voice today.
Yeah,
So on the Pride event, do you want tables like for disability or things like that?
I'm thinking more DEI,
More DE?
probably
Yeah,
make more sense.
okay.
Yeah,
I just had a couple of questions.
yeah, yeah.
Are you thinking of the senior center?
No, no.
Oh.
I was actually thinking of Westford Coalition for Nonviolence. I mean, that is important in
Yeah.
this whole aspect.
Yeah.
And I can get you some information.
Yeah.
on that.
It's a great idea.
Good one. Yeah, we do a lot of education, so.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'll get you the info.
Yeah.
I would offer to be there, but my granddaughter said I have to show up at Or that's for
Of course you do.
I had planned to be.
Anything else you want to share with us?
I think that's it for now. Once the working group meets next Wednesday, we'll be moving it forward, hopefully quite a bit, because I don't have a lot of time to play with. It's.
Yeah.
It's,
You've already had
coming
conversations.
together. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
And what time is it gonna be, at least the flag raising? For Juneteenth?
Flag raising is 9 a.m.
For Juneteenth.
for Juneteenth, June 19th,
9
9 a.m. And approximately 9:30, 9:40 is when I think we'll be planning on heading over to the museum.
Okay, any questions about that? Great, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you. All right, we could update on the multicultural calendar. I don't know if there's anything to talk specifically about, but we put it on there because it is sort of a movable piece.
My last action item was we're going to be working on January through March or April, and Anjali, you were talking about setting a date for the working group to talk about who would take the responsibility
For the calendar,
for updates for next year.
I think we may still have to distribute it among the people, not you. I'm not gonna give it to you at all because you have done so much. I don't want to overburden you.
Okay.
And I probably will ask a couple of members, like Meghna is not here. Cynthia is here, so maybe I'll take some help from Cynthia.
Mhm.
Maybe I can pitch in because last time I had you and Seema take care of my portions as well. So I will try to pitch in. So we'll try to distribute.
Okay.
But then I'm gonna have Seema is on the call. Seema, can I have you lead us? Because I know that if you will take the responsibility, you will hold us accountable for that versus me, because I definitely forget that we need to get this work going.
Sorry, can you just repeat that? Your voice got kind of cut off.
Come on, Seema.
I'm sorry.
Can you take the lead on the calendar? So you took the lead last time, right? And that's where we are. I don't want you to do the job, but I want you to hold us accountable that when we take
Well,
the responsibility, we do it.
Right. So when you say take the lead on it, what do you mean? Yeah, I mean, I think I'm already doing that. So I'll just, I'll make sure that it's on track if that's what you're asking me to do.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. So just to give an update, since we're talking about the calendar. So the way I'm doing it right now, I don't know if anyone has had the opportunity to look at the calendar in recent weeks or months. I'm just, as the month ends, I switch it over to 2025. So by the time we get to December, we will already have the 2025 calendar. So right now, our calendar has May of 2024 to April of 2025. Okay, so as a month end, so on 1st of June, I'm going to switch out May to May 2025. That way we don't have an entire year's work in December.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's ongoing.
Yeah.
So the only thing I ask is, I know we put in quite a bit of work and got it going, and it looks great. It has a lot of information, but I still feel that we should keep a lookout for more information and like find a way to collect information from more groups. It should be an ongoing process, and sort of encourage people to reach out to us if they see mistakes or omissions within a description. They should reach out to. I have had a couple of people reach out to me, but I think we should try and kind of get the word out that we're open to more suggestions. We're open to adding more things to the calendar if we have missed anything. I've already told the school committee about it, that I'm open to, any way that they would like us to get input from other groups within town. So I just want to put it out there that I don't want it to be like this is done and complete. I want this to be a dynamic thing. I want us to keep updating and adding. So that's what I mean when I say we should try and solicit more from people.
Just a quick question and maybe a suggestion. It's more like a suggestion. If we post it, and I think probably we may have tried posting it on Westford Friends as well in the past. If we post it on Westford Friends, trying to say our intention as a DEI committee, our intention is to collect the feedback from just the community and see if you guys would like us to add few more events that we have not added. Is it opening the can of worms, or is it like we are really asking for just feedback? Okay, I am seeing some nods in the room, so that's almost like opening the can of worms. Therefore, I'm gonna stay away from that action.
I mean, there are ways to do that. We could post it, to turn off comments and request people to reach out to us via email. So we don't go into a back and forth on Facebook, but I don't want, if the committee doesn't feel comfortable doing that, that's fine. We can just use official means of, using, like, I don't know how we, is Andrea there at the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, so I was just wondering if the select board has any ideas on how we can get this out more than we have right now. And how we can, sort of solicit more from the community in terms of, because I honestly speaking, I don't know what the reach of this is right now.
We can I can certainly ask that, input, I would say on open forum, Seema, just to, alert people to the calendar, telling them, if there's something there that you feel that we haven't addressed or that there's missing information, to please contact the DEI committee. And put it out that.
All right, yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah, so I just wanted to put it out there that we should continue to seek input. That's what I meant. And continue to, other members of the committee as well, if you have information that you would like added, or while looking at the calendar, you're thinking, oh no, this doesn't seem quite complete, or this seems incorrect, or whatever, please do reach out to any one of us, I guess, who's working on the calendar, and we'd be happy to update.
Is it a reasonable ask that we as a chair, or Joe, either yourself or we could share a link again with the DEI committee members and ask that in the next week, ask the members to provide feedback, right? At least again, send a reminder a week later and say, hey, if you have not responded, if you find any opportunities, great. If you have not, please give us a thumbs up that we have taken the time to review the calendar and everything looks fine. I think that will at least incite some kind of comments or feedback from the committee members.
Would that be helpful, Seema?
Yes, I'm, like I said, I think we should be open to, suggestions, comments, whatever, criticism from everybody. So committee members included. So, because I don't think we've really formally had the committee members give inputs other than those who worked on the calendar. I don't think anyone has really reached out or said anything. I'm not sure how many committee members have seen it, like have gone through the whole thing. So I'm happy to send out the link to, or you guys, everybody has the link. I guess Anjali and Joe can send it out to everybody again.
Okay.
And then we can see if we can get some input from just the committee members, and continue seeking input from others. I just want to put it out there that we can add other things to the calendar. It's like we can add other pages with other information. I still didn't hear back from anybody about the equity piece that I had talked about from the Lexington calendar. There was an email that was sent, I think, a couple of months ago, maybe in January or February. I can't remember when. But I didn't hear back from anybody about what the committee thinks about adding a page like that with resources. The Lexington Equity in Lexington Public Schools has, it's a pretty big website. They have a lot of things. We don't have to do everything they have, but I thought that was a good repository of, you know, just links to different places. If you want to read about this, you can read, you know, these books or go to this website. So it's just like a place where there's a collection of things. And I can resend that email. I don't mind doing that, but that would be also useful. That's a discussion maybe for the next meeting as to whether the committee would like me to create a page like that.
Seema, I'm just thinking that rather than creating a page, but maybe linking to, taking the links of all those resources, it's not stealing. So I think we as a committee did our part by reaching out to them and said, hey, you have lots of useful resources on your webpage. Can we use them? If they have not responded to our email, we have done our part. And then we can say, you know what, these are open links, open resources. They have not created those resources. So we should be able to just take the link to those resources and put it on our pages. Not everything, but whatever we think is useful as Westford in the town.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's what I meant when I said I create a page. I create a page with the links that they have over there.
But you seem, it sounds like you want a little reaction to that.
I'm sorry, say that again, Joe.
You want a little reaction to that. You want to see from our members.
Correct. Yes. I don't want to arbitrarily just create a page. I would like the committee to have, you know,
So
I suppose for the lack of a better word, give me permission to do it. And also want to know what the committee thinks.
Calendar. So how about we include that in our working group as a piece of work that we would take care of with Seema together?
Sure. You don't want to do that as the whole committee's, you don't want the whole committee's input, you just want the calendar committee to do it. That's fine. It's not a problem with me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, we could conceivably, when we send out the note to folks with the link to the calendar and ask their feedback on the calendar, we could include your previous note
Yes.
about, and then people could offer feedback on it.
No, no, because right now our calendar is ready. We want a feedback on the calendar. We as a working group decide that we want to create a page with all the links and then send again the link to the page for further feedback to improve upon versus taking a permission.
Committee take a
Sure. I think that's a good idea. I'm on board with that. Let's send only the calendar out to the entire committee and get inputs, and then the calendar committee can work on the page with the links, and then we can send that out later.
Yeah, because I just feel that Joe and everybody else is working on different working groups on too many different priorities at the same time. So we don't want to get stuck in having the whole committee member working on this particular task. That's why I think as a small working group, we can probably achieve faster.
Sure. Scott.
This may be a stupid question, but I noticed that last weekend there were a lot of Canadians up here, and I'm in Maine, and it's because it's Victoria Day was Victoria Day on Monday. Is that the kind of thing we want on the calendar? Or is that another country's holiday that we don't want? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, we wouldn't want other countries' holidays. In that case, we will have to put on every country's Independence Day or some other day of significance on our calendar. I think what we are trying to do is
not to interrupt, but we do have the Canadian Independence Day on our calendar because they are our neighbors. And we have
why we have that?
Only contiguous neighbors.
I think it's the neighborly thing to do, and so that's why it's on our calendar. So
see,
I think Canada can be treated differently than other countries. So I'm just letting you know that it's there. Just just the Independence Day, not other holidays.
Good.
How about Cinco de Mayo? Is that on?
Yes, it is. It is
Do
on.
we have Bastille Day on our calendar? Just
I'm
curious.
sorry?
Do we have Bastille Day? from France?
Bastille Day? No,
Okay, just wondering.
no. I just put the Canadian Independence Day only because they are part of the, North American continent. So that's the only reason it's there. I can't remember if the Mexican Independence Day is there on it. I'll check.
It's my father's birthday that day as well, but that's okay. We just celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Then it has to go on.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's a good question. Do we have Cinco de Mayo on our
Yes,
calendar? We
yes,
just,
yes.
you're checking the calendar, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
We do.
Mother's Day.
I don't remember a thing. It's been 3 months now.
Father's Day.
There will be. Yeah.
Alrighty,
Okay.
so we have some action steps. Any other comments on this? Suggestions?
Okay, just to, so the only comment I have right now is that this shows me that not many of you have seen the calendar. And the second part is we do have the Mexican Independence Day. So both Canada and Mexico are represented in there.
Yeah, you know that I went to the calendar. I mean, I can blame my literally foggy memory at this point in time.
I've
See,
seen
I
it, but I don't know how to get to it easily.
Sorry?
I've seen it a couple of times, but I don't know how to get to it easily. I ended up going through the town website.
Let me see. I don't want to hold up the discussion. You guys can continue.
Put a link in the chat. You can see if
And
that
then you
works.
can
It's an interesting
save it in
question,
your
though.
favorites.
Because I wonder
You know how
if
to
you were
do
to
that?
Google Westford multicultural calendar, would you?
Well, I don't say it in
You know,
favorites,
like
but
that's
I don't know.
like people do this sort of thing.
You can save the
Yeah,
link.
but we can work on that too.
I mean,
All right. Unless there's anything else, we'll move on to the next item. Which is the vision mission work group. Not a huge update, really. We had a meeting, and we had a good conversation. It was sort of a starter conversation where we sort of shared our history, being in Westford, how Westford has changed. And we began to talk about some language that we could work from, that could result in a vision or a mission. The basis for it is that we've been animated and inspired by the charge that the select board gave us and the school committee gave us 3 years ago. But we've had a lot of work since then we've done together. And we've developed some strategic directions too. One is celebrating diversity. The other is working to integrate the process support. But because of, I think because of these experiences and because of our interactions with the town, live in town, people are developing I think a vision for Westford. And usually what stems from vision is a mission. But a lot of it is similar to the charge, but they are different. So we thought it would be worthwhile to do that and document ourselves a timetable. We're not prepared or say any draft language. We'll have other meetings. One more summer, Cynthia, I'm sorry you couldn't make the last meeting. And we'll just, we'll move on and keep folks. We do know it's important and we absolutely intend to share sort of preliminary ideas, preliminary vision or mission with the select board of the school.
How frequently are you guys meeting?
I think we said we try to meet once a month. Haven't set the next meeting.
To answer the question that was just asked is what happens if you Google Westford Multicultural Calendar? It comes up on
Comes up.
Google search. So
Yeah.
Congratulations. Maybe we will. All right, any questions on the vision or mission? Move on.
Ju-
I'm sorry.
just a different. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Cynthia.
I just wanted to know if you picked another date for a second meeting.
No, we haven't. I'll send out a doodle. on that.
Okay.
My comment was, or maybe a question. When you are ready, whether it's today, tomorrow, or 6 months down the road, will you come back to the DEI full committee to just say that this is what we came up with?
Oh, absolutely. I think we'll want to do
You
that.
want to have to vote, right?
Yeah, and we'll also be sharing. Social events.
Will that be after you go to the DEI committee, the voting process, or before, or in between some that?
I think ultimately, we as a group would want to develop something that we present, but I'd say that it probably would be wise, we would share some preliminary. Or
I think
even,
so.
even ahead of. I think we all want to make sure that we're on the same page.
Yeah, in the right track.
I think sort of formal, we would. Send it to select board, but I would want you to see it.
Well, I think you could present to us a draft after this whole committee has looked at it, because I really do think the entire committee should look at it. And you could present it as a draft to the select board and ask the select board for any comments or input that they have. And then it can come back to this committee for, finalization, and then back to the select board.
So that's where we're headed. We'll set a new meeting hopefully for June. I'll set up people. All right, great. And if there's anything else on that? That's good. Yeah, this is just to update tomorrow, which is the 22nd, so that is tomorrow. We will have another podcast at 3:30. I'll be there with Claire. Pat. And we'll be talking about events that are coming up. A little bit more light. It's usually half an hour, but it's a four-way conversation. So go fast. And it's one way that. Sure. Not sure about the next topic.
You're saying June is open?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you are talking about tomorrow's podcast, is it Pride and Juneteenth events? Okay, that's what. Is it just going to be around the events history, or have you already kind of figured a draft on what you want to cover during the podcast?
We've talked about a little bit. I think history is important. I think what these events presenting, a little bit of the history. Also, what we bring to the table. And then the events.
Because you're covering two important topics. That's why I'm asking these questions. Is 30 minutes to cover two important topics good enough, or do you want to separate it into two podcasts? Something to think about.
Yeah, I think we can do it. We might go over 30. 40.
Who
What
listens
did you
to
ask?
long podcasts?
My family does.
It'll be two.
You know, the listeners today don't have that much patience.
That's true.
10 or 20 minutes, yes, they are ready. 40-minute podcast, nobody wants, nobody has time. And I'm just
Then we'll
reminding.
speed it up.
We can take this offline. I can
Yeah, of
speak
course.
with Wendy and Pat about whether we think we should focus on one or the other.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good point. But the June topic would be is all right, so let's move on to new business, and I'm going to turn things over to Andrea. Last time we spoke, it's the process of vice chair and chair. We indicated that it's been about a year since we chose them co-chairs and Nancy Cook, vice chair. We said that we'd be more than happy to this position honored another year. And we asked people though, because it's an open process, to offer nominations to Andrew. Nominees to be co-chairs.
Do you have any nominations? Have you received anything?
No. I received no nominations. I received a couple of comments supporting both you and Joe as co-chairs and basically saying, yes, you should, if you're willing, that you should do it again.
Do we want to open up and ask for nominations?
We can do that.
Yeah.
And we should do that. So
Yeah.
I will do that and I will open the floor to anybody who has nominations for the positions of co-chairs.
Are you asking now?
Yeah.
I would like to nominate the two of them again.
Thank you.
For another year. And
Okay.
for Vice chairman. Does Nancy wants to continue?
I'm not sure. Did she say she will?
She did. She said she'd be.
Is she on?
She's not here with
No.
us. She's at a pretty important. We could hold all together, we could do first part and then we. Here.
I'd like her to be present so that she can. tell
Yes,
us.
she should be present. Just-
Yeah.
So why don't we just do co-chairs? And so Donna has nominated Anjali and Joe. Is there a second to that?
I would like to second that.
Okay. Are there any other nominations from anybody? I'm not seeing or hearing any. So with that, I will call for a vote. You folks have who's online, and we have to do a roll call vote. So I don't know who's online. So I can do the roll call here, but I'll need one of you to do the online one. So for here, I vote aye. Pat?
Aye.
Wendy?
Aye.
Madonna?
Aye.
Anjali? Joe?
Reluctantly.
Aye.
And then could you vote one of you?
Yes, he's going to ask Scott,
Aye.
Seema,
Aye.
Cynthia.
Aye.
Is there anybody else online?
I think that's
No,
everybody.
we are. That's pretty much
It's
it.
unanimous. Congratulations and thank you.
I spoke for you, Michael, said we were honored, but I didn't want to speak for you, so
No, you are right.
imagine you're honored as well.
Yes, I am.
Very good.
Yeah,
Me
thank you.
too. It's great to work with you and look forward to it. Thanks. Alrighty. Well, we are rapidly. We can set the minutes. It says March minutes, but it is April.
There are March minutes, I think, behind April.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Great. So I have to apologize. The person I sent printing to did not print the agenda, but printed two versions, or two copies of the April 24th minutes, and also one copy of the March 11th. March 11th was in a regular meeting. It was a meeting to just go. It was a meeting to go over next steps. So we've got April 24th minutes in your packet, and we've got March 11th.
Seema has her hand raised.
You see my,
Yeah, can I, unless there's something important on the second agenda sheet, can I ask you to stop sharing your screen so it's easier to see everybody?
okay, and we're down to the wire. Hang on a second.
Thank you.
Does that help? Did you have anything else on the minutes?
No, I think we're good, except I think Anjali still has to get the December 15th ones to me at some point.
And my phone was buzzing. That was Seema who was buzzing me and reminding me, Anjali, where are the minutes? I'm like, oops, I'm so sorry.
This is why I don't do minutes, Anjali, okay?
So we are getting the resolution now. So Pam has switched on the transcript for this meeting. So we're getting a recording and the transcript. All we have to do is just do the edits and our meeting minutes will be ready.
Which brings me to who's doing the minutes for this meeting?
I am.
Wendy? Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are you sure, Wendy? You have a lot going on. You have been
I'm
taking
doing it. I've been doing it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Let's do them one at a time since there aren't a huge number.
Sorry, not to interrupt, but can I also request that just as a, just every meeting, when we begin the meeting, can we just, at the beginning of the meeting, say who's doing minutes for that meeting?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
I think we need to really call for, so now co-chairs are elected. Next time, maybe we should ask for someone who could be the secretary for 3 months, a quarter, and then move on with the vote, right? Or have the rotation, like have people sign up who will be doing for so and so many months, just like we did the calendar. So Seema had assigned these months, this person will do, these months, this person will do. Don't look at me, I didn't do my months, but I know that we were organized on who's gonna take the role. So I
Could do
think
a
that
chart
may
and
help, right?
have people sign up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's do that.
We will do that next time. Thanks, Seema.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. Thank
Anything else before we ask somebody to move acceptance of April 24th?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Are there any adjustments, changes, etc.? Thanks, Wendy. Hearing none. All those in favor of accepting the minutes, say aye.
I,
Opposed?
Hi.
Any abstentions?
I wasn't here, I abstained.
Okay, so one abstention, thank you, one abstention. Okay. Otherwise, it's all. All right, very good. March 11th minutes. Do I have a motion to accept those?
So moved.
Scott, thank you. Any second?
second,
Julie, thank you. Any changes or adjustments? Hearing none, all those in favor of accepting these minutes, say aye.
Aye.
I wasn't there, so I will abstain.
Seema abstains.
And I'm abstaining.
And Abby's abstaining, and Pat's abstaining. And I know there was a small one. And any notes? Ayes, and those two exceptions. Thank you very much. They are accepted as well. So the next meeting would be the 26th, June 26th. But I'm curious what you guys think looking ahead. So which month in summer should we consider taking? Sort of skipping.
why should we do that?
I think people go away and in my organization are working, we have a working, people go away. So I'm just curious if you think August might be a good time. We don't need to think about it. We can talk about it in June. But that's
We
just-
didn't meet in August last year.
Yeah, I think we took a break in August, I
We did.
remember.
We did take a break in
Oh,
August.
did we in August? So, yeah, so it seems like that's something that other groups do too. It sounds like the select board meets once instead of twice. If you guys want to think about it, that's.
Just-
I think it's,
Yeah, so last year, I don't think we planned to, but we did not meet in May and June due to lack of quorum. That's a separate issue, but we didn't officially have like a month off. So if I heard you correctly, are you saying that we should think about which month we want to take off?
Yeah, and I was suggesting August.
Oh, you were suggesting August? Okay. I was thinking more like during summer, because August, by the time we are in the last Wednesday of August, it's kind of close to school opening and people are kind of back.
That
So
was I think Seema, that was the whole issue, is that that's the week school opens and.
people are
and-
busy. Okay.
Exactly, parents are getting their kids back to school, things are starting, and I think that's why we took August off.
Okay, I see. So last year we didn't though, not the DEI committee at least. So
I don't, did we have the meeting minutes for August?
I have meeting minutes here from August 30th, 2023.
We didn't.
Well, maybe it was July, I mean, I know that we
No,
didn't meet.
we did not meet in May and June of 2023 because there was no quorum.
Got together.
But you got together.
Yeah,
Yes, you did get together because there's agenda posted
Yeah.
for both those months.
Do we have an agenda for July?
I'm sorry,
Do we have an agenda for July last year?
last year, July 26th,
We did, okay.
June 28th, May 24th, and
Wow.
August
We are
30th.
a very hardworking group,
Dedicated.
dedicated, hardworking, yes.
Yeah,
Well, think about it. I mean, I think August is a candidate. We decided that we
Yeah.
wanted to.
no,
Yeah.
I see, I think Andrea has a good point. I think August is a good month to take off.
But when you're talking about parents are coming back to, like, now, look at our
I know,
group,
I know.
who has the elementary school going kids in the group?
Oh, okay.
Hey, not elementary, but I have Westford Academy which will also open in the end of August.
See, ma'am, but then I'm just saying, elementary and middle school probably is like a big push and the rush.
Yeah,
Maybe we
that's
can
true.
think about July. July is the peak, July end, if people are taking off, traveling. I'm not sure. Let's talk about it more,
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll think about it, but,
What you can do, if we meet in June, what you can do with our June meeting is ask who's gonna be around in July, and we can figure out whether we'll have quorum or not.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Or send out a poll.
In June, are we meeting on Juneteenth?
No, we are not. We
No,
are,
it's
but we are not.
well,
Like, we are meeting for the event.
Yeah,
we are
yeah.
not Meeting for the meeting.
June 26th is the last one.
26th would be the date.
Yeah.
That's the last one. What do you think,
So-
Scott? Usually
I-
break it.
I'm fine with 26. I'm not doing anything.
Okay, what about, taking a month off? What's your
That's
idea
fine.
there?
That's fine.
Carmela?
August is fine.
All right, well, we can, ask folks about what their summers look like.
I'm going away in September, so I won't be around in September.
Donna, what were you saying?
On last week.
Last week, Joel?
Let's explore more in the next month, and then maybe we will have more confirmed plans as well, right? Because it'll be just 30 days before.
Don't do it on my.
Donna, but you're always here. All right, so hold on that, you know, so decision. Anything else about anything?
Anything is missing on the chat because I see 5 things on the chat. They're
Oh.
missing something.
I'm wondering if we can go back to the podcast and see who we haven't featured yet. In terms of June,
Yeah,
the 2nd for June. And see if there is someone.
right, I mean, it could be an opportunity to do
That's
these.
the one, because I looked at right at her.
Yeah, I think that's great. Maybe we should feature you next time. No,
No,
no.
no.
I'm the past. You need somebody to talk to. Oh,
Say that. I think you're an inspiration and you can inspire a lot of people, share your story, share what your vision is as far as the DEI, what's your belief is. I think it definitely holds a separate place in a value. It would be very valuable. Move forward.
Why don't we can take it offline and talk about the proposal.
Yeah.
Anything else? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Yeah.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.
Have a good night.
Night.